1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to dedicate this to my mother and father, Mr. and Mrs. Gay, who are in the audience. I'd like for you to acknowledge them, ladies and gentlemen. I love them very much. Also my family, sisters and brothers, and all of you. Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome to Wrestling with Racism, where we wrestle with racism every single day of our lives. If you are an American Negro and you are not subscribed to Wrestling with Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not. You may also find Wrestling with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and at Nine Crackers et al. On Twitter X, where you can find more white truths. This is a throwback edition to 2024 as to where we discuss the incoming release of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. It took a couple of years, but the WWE finally made it around to releasing them, and there is major talks in the New Day going to AEW by AEW All In. When you look at the lack of success of the Hurt business or the Hurt Syndicate in AEW, we can already see where this is going with the New Day. Please enjoy this edition, and there will be a part 2 coming on Monday. In the meantime, American Negroes, we want to thank you all for your support, and we will return live as a unit on AEW All In. In the meantime, I'm going to need American Negroes to take care of yourselves as an individual, and be sure to protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. Enjoy the program.
Trigger habit, holy sin. Panic is spreading. God knows where we're headed. I don't understand. Maybe one holler, but they don't understand. God bless you, and Lord keep you, and may you live a good life.
Oh, she look older than the motherfucker. I'm just saying she look cute today. Cause the other time she looked, her face looked fucked up. It looked just ugly. So she didn't have it. She may not have had surgery. She may just be starting to get out her depression. I think that she got some dick. I think she went to Vince McMahon and talked her problems out. Okay, my bad, Mike. I apologize. I just had to note that real quick. We keeping the update on Charlotte Flair as she's going through the change of life right in front of our very eyes. I don't think she's eligible to have a period anymore. What do you guys think?
I don't give a fuck about Charlotte.
All right, Mike, my bad, man. Go ahead.
Montez actually served his country. You know, Randy Orton kicked out of Marines.
No, he went AWOL.
A
Yeah, he went
menace throughout.
AWOL. Oh yeah.
He went
A
AWOL.
menace. A menace backstage throughout his early tenure in the WWE. You know, all the shit he got up to, the failed drug test, shitting in people's bags.
I want to ask this
Yeah.
question. No, I mean, because I want to ask this
Nasty
question. Let's be real about it. You know, we throughout history, especially with Hulk Hogan and stuff, we hear about all the nasty stuff that white folk have been doing. You know, the big drugs. You know, Scott Hall and Jake Roberts, they was just big filthy drug addicts, and Dustin Rhodes and stuff, just big sexual predators. Taz got a sexual, you know, he's a child molester and stuff. And that's on record.
Uh-oh.
You know, oh yeah, brother, oh yeah. You know, white folk is filthy. Vince McMahon is filthy. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because Vince McMahon almost killed a woman the day that Hulk Hogan died, and he's being charged with a misdemeanor. He's not being charged with attempted murder. You know, we hear about all the filth. Kurt Angle, oh God, Kurt Angle family, his family is just so goddamn filthy. Stone Cold Steve Austin beating women, and Triple H just doing all types of nasty shit in China. You know, horrible stuff. You know, white folk is just so filthy in this business. Who are some of the filthiest American Negroes in this business? Who are some of the troublemakers in the American Negroes in this business? Let's
Zero.
wake that
You
shit up.
can't exist in wrestling as a Negro and have that kind of reputation. You just
Who's the
can't.
biggest drug addict? Shawn Michaels go out to bars and shit. Go to gay bars. People forget that Shawn Michaels got his ass whooped in the gay bar. Yeah. Oh
They
yeah.
tried to say it was 20 people. Tried to say
And tried to say it was 20 people when he got his ass whooped by one big ass fruit named Bubba. Let's wake that shit up. You got all these filthy ass people. You got all these filthy ass people, but you don't hear American Negroes getting into these type of troubles. You don't hear American Negroes going to jail. You don't hear of American Negroes starting trouble in the locker room and starting trouble with the staff. You don't hear American Negroes starting fights and getting into fights and stuff like that. American Negroes in pro wrestling tend to be on our best behavior. Am I not correct on that? I mean, how do New Jack? Do New Jack? Let me just say this real quick. Do New Jack ears say anything negative about New Jack?
never.
More of Hulk Hogan peers have said negative things about Hulk Hogan than they ever said about New Jack.
I mean,
That's where white folk is gonna try to go.
it's hours and hours of content. You know, guys having just great stuff to say about New Jack. He's just, you know, one of those kind of guys.
Yeah.
But
The worst thing about New Jack was the mass transit incident.
And previous Dusty Rhodes was a fucking racist.
I mean, people had issues with Dusty Rhodes from when he was booking WCW. Wasn't giving guys, you know, the spots they thought they deserved.
He wasn't giving American Negroes spots they deserve. You know, let's pick that shit up.
Putting his son on
Dusty Rhodes was a white supremacist. Dusty Rhodes was a white supremacist because he had the opportunity. He had the opportunity to book American Negroes on the same stage to where he cosplayed and made his money on it. And he outright refused to do it.
He gave PN News the spot.
He gave PN News the spot. As a matter of fact, he sent Tuco Scorpio on his way, didn't he?
Wow.
Yeah. Come on now, this is a nasty history. And it's a nasty history that Cody Rhodes, if you sincere, this is a nasty history that Cody Rhodes will not address. You know, white folk got these problems with their parents and stuff, and they know that their parents is racist, but they'll expose every fucking thing, but they will not expose racism. Let's talk about Hulk Hogan and Brooke Hogan real quick. You know, they got a long-standing sexual history. Tony Khan is not only stupid, but he's lazy. You notice that, Mike?
Yeah.
How is your revenge giving somebody a title match?
And he wants to beat the shit out of him, so
Well, then you just don't. You could just challenge them to a match and make it a non-title match. It's amazing how far. It's amazing, Mike, and I'm dead serious. It's amazing how easy it is for white folk to receive championship matches in AEW. The most random people too. And don't get me wrong, Kyle Fletcher to me is from what he's displayed in AEW. When I watched him, he's a pretty damn good talent.
Yeah, definitely future world champ.
Well, why would they put this match on him right now when he should be defending the world title? You know, Mike, I was listening to our last program, and I noted that AEW have so many championships that challengers of a championship are champions.
Yeah, there's too many championships.
Well, let me ask you. There's a lot of championships. So let me ask you. How many American Negroes are currently holding a championship at AEW right now?
That's 0.
Non-mixed.
0. Now, AEW, strictly AEW, it will be 0.
So white
But if you want to count Ring of Honor,
I'm not counting the Ring of Honor. I'm not even about to go there. Because I'm not counting the Ring of Honor. We about to stop that shit today. The reason I'm about to stop that shit today is because Athena, y'all brought her up to lose. Y'all sitting up here telling me that Athena is the best women's wrestler today. The reason I'm about to stop that shit today is because Athena, y'all brought her up to lose. Y'all sitting up here telling me that Athena is the best women's wrestler, but you bring her up to national television. Everybody don't have Ring of Honor. Mike, do you have Ring of Honor?
no, I don't have it anymore.
Duke is the only person I know that probably got Ring of Honor. He might not even have it no more right now. Don't nobody have that shit. So y'all sitting up here telling me that she's the best woman, but then you bring her, and this is internet talk. I'm talking about to the black children that sit up here and hear all this stuff about Athena, but then they come up on the roster and she lose and disappears. She lost in the Owen Hart tournament and disappeared. You mean to tell me that you can come up from Ring of Honor in between All In and Forbidden Door and do whatever you want, but then you can go back home and not walk on the show? Mike, why is Mark Briscoe wrestling MJF on this pay-per-view tonight? But not Shane Taylor.
Yeah. Tony Khan has his favorites, and most of his favorites are white. His favorites are white.
Oh, most of his favorites is white. And you know, you got Mexicans like Bandito, who is the Ring of Honor champion, right?
Yeah.
But he could come in and win the tag team championship and wrestle on this pay-per-view. So, you know, it's not just white, it's Mexicans too. You know, you got Japanese people that's down in Ring of Honor that hold championships or not and still come in AEW, right?
Yeah.
So, Tony Khan does has his favorites. And they are not just white. The majority is white. But he brings all these other ethnic groups up. But the niggers are left behind. Tell me I'm bullshit, Mike. What Negro currently in Ring of Honor, and they have some, what Negro is consistently coming up from Ring of Honor wrestling on AEW?
No. There's no one.
We could call Tony Khan an idiot all goddamn day long, Mike, but I gotta ask you, if it isn't racism, then what's the problem?
This here, with Tony Khan, it's racism and idiocy combined.
Sometimes it's amazing, because this is the issue that I have with the IWC. I don't listen to white folk. I let them talk. I don't listen to others. Please, you know, Negroes. The issue that I have with some Negroes is they can sit up here and point down to the success in Ring of Honor that they see with American Negroes. Mike, what the fuck was Shane Taylor Promotions doing before they won the 6-man tag team titles because Dusty Rhodes is injured? What was they doing before then?
I have no fucking clue. I
have
haven't watched
no
Ring
clue?
of Honor in a long ass time.
In between you not having no clue, they was losing. All right, jobbing all over the goddamn place. Lee Moriarty is the pure champion, right?
Yeah, that's how I check. He's still pure champion as far as I know.
Losing every goddamn tag team match that come across him. It's amazing how y'all can sit up here and point to this shit because they put y'all let a championship, which is essentially a band-aid, blind you to say that there is success when these people are losing. And to further that point, Mike, as you noted, these people aren't even coming up on AEW consistently to lose. And when you get one crab that come out the barrel, she loses.
Yep.
I don't understand how Negroes could take one piece of success and say that the problem is solved. Hey, we got the Civil Rights Bill. Mike, did that solve the problems between whites and Negroes in America?
No.
As a matter of fact, that Band-Aid is coming off and it's about to get worse. Don't you feel it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see white supremacy imploding, starting to implode.
They getting tired. Oh, they telling you they fatigued because it's within their nature. It's within their nature.
They're turning on each other.
Well, they gonna do each other because they not really each other, and they figuring that stuff out. Like I said, we talk about nature. Inside, Italian cannot truly say that he can convene with an Irishman and everything's gonna be okay for a lifetime. These people do want to be separated, but they don't realize that they need to go back home. Irish people, go back to Ireland. Italian people, go back to Italy. White folk, whatever little remaining Mayflowers or whatever, y'all go back to Europe. Go wherever you want to go. Leave America. And the only people that'll be left behind is American Negroes. Mike, we've been here much longer than most.
Yeah.
And we don't feel out of place because we are at home.
We were here before Columbus.
Columbus probably never even touched this goddamn soil. If he was real. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back on this pay-per-view real quick. I just had to note that, man, because it bothers me, man. I'm so goddamn sick of this shit. You know, we gonna talk about the WWE later and NXT and stuff later, but I'm honestly sick of this shit. How y'all gotta reach all the way down. And like I said, just to bring it home right quick, you know, I look at all the success that Carmelo Hayes had on NXT, and then I look at the lack of success that he's having in the WWE. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at all the success that Trick Williams is having down in NXT, and I can't help but to go back and look at Carmelo Hayes and no, it ain't gonna happen. We gotta. She must have took his virginity or something, because I knew something didn't smell right in the chitlins with that. She must have played with it or something. I think she touched it, and he like, oh hell yeah.
You know what Tony like? We keep talking about the promoters being sexually aggressive to the female channel.
Oh
I think
man, Tony gonna go so long without getting no pussy. Explode on Jamie Hater or Sonny Kiss. You want to come back to AEW?
Sonny Kiss, man. Sonny fucking Kiss.
Oh
man. Shoot, as soon as they found out he was gay and queer, man, they silently pushed him out of the freaking.
Well, no, they knew they knew that from the beginning. But you know, I want to go back to what you said real quick. I just want to say this because, you know, I was going back listening to some of the older stuff. Noted recently that most of the gay people in AEW are melanated. You know what I'm saying? Including that Nyla Rose. And that's what they was pushing heavily in the beginning. Anthony Bowens, who's mixed with white. Anthony Bowens, Sonny Kiss. That Nyla Rose, who's mixed with Native American. And there was another person. They was all black. So they was trying to push this inclusive. See, we're diverse. We got gay people. We got black people. Hey, we got a twofer. We got gay and black. And now, remember, this is what they was trying to build in the beginning. Hold on. This is what they was trying to build in the beginning, and now none of those gay black people are nowhere to be found.
And you know how you just said twofer?
I'm going to pause it right here because I know that some people have heard the term twofer on the program Wrestling with Racism before, wondering what the hell does twofer mean. We're going to take a closer look. At the same time, we are going to take a look at some tactics of white supremacists. Fair use for the following video as it is used for educational purposes. And educational purposes.
Oh, hey, it's Joey, right?
Right.
And you're Andy.
And you're, Jimbo.
Jim.
Andrew.
So, you and my brother gonna make a lot of money together, huh?
Yep. You know, I'm gonna talk to Rock about hiring family. I like to see people take care of their own. I know that's something you people believe in.
Hey, how you doing, Jim?
Hey, Rock just brought by the contract for you to sign.
Good. Well, we'll leave you two to talk business.
Right.
My son's taking me to see Malcolm X. You know, the movie about the African American who awakened the country to the insidious nature of racism.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. But you know who would have made the quintessential Malcolm?
Who?
Eddie Murphy. Okay. All right, Rock. Here's the contract. It's pretty simple stuff. Just your standard partnership agreement. You sign right there.
Okay. Everything we agreed to is on this paper.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Hey, I talked to this Iranian friend of mine. He's going to get us a great deal on some reconditioned trucks.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I'd like you to meet my wife, Eleanor, Jim Lawson.
Hey, it's a pleasure.
It's nice to meet you, too. You know, I'm really proud of what you and Rock are doing, and I want you to know I wish you both much success.
Well, thank you. So you're a nurse, huh?
Yeah.
That is such a noble profession.
Well, only when we hear their call buttons.
She's terrific. You must be very proud.
Yeah, I sure am, and she's up for a big promotion, too. Head nurse.
Well, she's a shoo-in for that.
Oh, you really think so?
Oh, black and a woman, a twofer.
A twofer?
Yeah. Hey, Rock, I want you to know I've always been a supporter of affirmative action. And people say we aren't making great strides in this.
All right, that's it, damn it. Let me tell you something. My wife's promotion has nothing to do with affirmative action.
Well, good.
My wife is smart. She had to work her butt off to graduate third in her nursing class, and she's still working hard.
Hey, I'm not saying she's not smart, and I know she's a hard worker.
You know something, Lawson? You're a damn racist.
Whoa, Rock, take it easy. Look, if I said something wrong, I'm sorry. I'm not a racist. I'm on your side.
And you're the worst kind of racist because you don't even know you are one.
You're being awfully sensitive about this.
Damn right I'm sensitive. I had to deal with you people all my life. You think just because you give some work to some Latinos or buy trucks from an Iranian or go into business with a black man that you're okay? Well, you're not okay with me, Lawson. You know what? I don't want to be your find yourself another $1 million brother.
Why is that the first thing that you people always go to? Racism. But you know something, Rock? I don't want you to be my partner. You're a racist. You see, these eyes are colorblind. I only want to be in business with people like me.
Well, then move to South Africa and you can take your pick.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You have a picture of Martin Luther King on your wall.
I don't remember seeing one gay white man in the whole The whole time I've been
Bones was actually on Dynamite.
Not that I can recall. Who?
no, I haven't seen like one openly gay white.
Well, yeah, it's good shit openly because all of them motherfuckers probably doing it. But
I had to throw that openly in because we know the motherfuckers on backstage.
yeah, especially Tony Khan. And this is how most of them got jobs and shit. Like I said, you know, it's funny because people like Tony Khan, and I don't want people to think I'm joking when I say this shit. You know, white supremacists, you don't find out about their crimes until 30, 40, 50, 60 years in. And all this time that we've been sitting up here talking about Tony Khan as a creep, and if you find out 20 years from now, you're going to say, oh, we always knew that. We always knew that. No, do something about this shit right now.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, you mentioned all those.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, talking is cheap. But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way. And I don't mean in the jest of hate. I mean according to the plan of divine providence. He that has been up a long time must come down. He that's been down a long time must rise.
If you are an American Negro and an American Negro only, subscribe to Rascals with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and crackers that out on Twitter X. You can find more white truths.
She is sure not pretty, and her skirt is short. Lord knows the legs are smelly. And to walk to school, she's got to get out early with clothes on, but they are never ever dirty. They're living just enough for the city. My brother is smart. He's got more sense than many. His patience is long, but soon he won't have any. 'Cause to find a job is like a haystack needle. But where he lives, they don't use colored people. They're living just enough for the city.
And now, our feature presentation.
But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way.
Welcome to Wrestling with Racism, where we wrestle with racism every single day of our lives. No, it was a big misunderstanding 2 weeks ago when I did the program, The Death of Bobby Lashley. People seem to think that Bobby Lashley is dead. You did not read the context. It said the death of Bobby Lashley and his blackness. Something that he never had, being a Hispanic brown man. I hope that cleared that up. Also, last week, I did not get a chance to do anything programming-wise. I put a couple of things up. I just clipped out certain shit. Things with Pecker Tomron, who was up here, and I see you on request. You're going to come up here when your number is called. If your number is called. Last week, it was a family thing. It was a family event. It was a weekend thing. And I got a lot of rest out of it. I also got a black eye because my nephew punched me dead in the fucking eye. And at first I was cool with it. I mean, it didn't hurt. And then Monday, I wake up with a bruise on my eye. So next time I see him, I'm going to just leave it like that. He cool anyway. He's 7. It was a very relaxing weekend. It was a much needed getaway from a lot of stuff regarding wrestling with racism. I had an opportunity to talk to Isaiah Washington, to American Negroes. He's a legendary actor, and he had a great space, and I'm gonna repost that space on my Twitter feed. It went 9 hours, but it just so happened to coincide with the shit that was going on with Bobby Lashley. You know, we talking about all of these other melanated people, like this Cynthia Erivo bitch, or whatever the fuck her name is, coming up playing American Negroes, legendary American Negroes, like Harriet Tubman and Aretha Franklin. Come to find out, this bitch is very disrespectful to American Negroes. I believe that she called us cicadas, and she don't like the way that American Negroes speak. Again, this is what we face with these other melanated people who doesn't even identify themselves as black. Generally, people identify themselves where they come from. American Negroes are the only one who openly tell you that they are black. But we're going to get into that later on. I'm waiting on Negro to get up here for that. As of right now, Owner, do you want to come up real quick? I don't have an open monologue right now, but I am going to get started. It's a thing that's been going on with the New Day. Are they going to break up? Now, first of all, the WWE did not start doing the damn thing with the New Day until... Oh shit, I put the wrong motherfucker up there. Hold on. Shit, I did not mean to add you, Ronald. Do you got anything you want to speak towards the title before your number is called?
Why did you use a picture of my nieces just to get your temper tantrum out there?
That was your temper tantrum.
No. That was yours. Listen carefully, Weo.
All right, I got the show to run. So
listen carefully,
anything you want to speak toward the title?
Weo. Shut
That's
up
a
and
fake name that I gave.
No, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Listen.
Right.
That is a fucking picture of my nieces that I did not consent for you to fucking use.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Do you fucking understand me?
That's so, I don't know. I could barely hear you.
But you're not hearing me. Now we have a real fucking problem.
What you gonna do, Ronald?
We have a very real fucking problem.
What you gonna do?
I know your name and I know what city you're in. You say that I don't have the time to get a plane ticket and fly there.
You don't have the money.
What makes you think I'll just not come over there?
Well, you're going to not pay your grandmother
first of
her
all,
rent. You're going to not pay your grandmother her rent. So you come and get your ass whooped.
You do not take a fucking family picture and paint over their goddamn faces.
I did it. I mean, you want them to be white, don't you, Ronald?
See, you're tipping the line now between... You're tipping that line right now, Weo.
What you gonna do about it?
You're tipping that line.
What you gonna do about it, Ronald?
Keep that shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Take your own advice right now and dread carefully.
I don't say dread carefully.
Dread the fuck carefully.
I don't say dread carefully.
So you say.
Is there anything else? Do you have anything that you want to speak toward the title, Ronald?
Just remember what the fuck I said.
Okay. All right, so you'll be back once your number is called, Ronald. You have a sit down for a second, all right? Owner, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Man, you see the shit that I got to deal with, like, you know, and he's supposedly an American Negro. You know what I'm saying?
That brother hungry, ain't he?
I guess trying to defend the honor of white folk or something. I don't know. He act like a hungry white motherfucker from a tree. Burnt them up or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't do shit like that. I don't even want to. Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing all right, man. No.
So did you? Okay, so I kind of chatted with you a little earlier, and I don't know how far you. I mean, how much you are into watching wrestling today. You keep up with anything today? Let's say over the last year.
Yeah. Shit, I watched the main event the other night. I've been following the Jacob Fatu pretty close. I like his character work. I really do think they need to do a lot more with Montez and Angelo. They need to be on TV more.
I want to get on that in a minute. I do want to start with the New Day right quick because it's gonna kind of come together eventually. Are you aware of what happened with the New Day last Monday?
I did watch the highlights. The Kofi and Xavier turning on Big E.
And have you been keeping up with, let's say, them specifically over the last 3 months?
Yeah, they've been having Xavier eat a lot of pins. I seen that.
Well, he always eat the pins.
Yeah, so
Which is
that's
something else that
new.
I'm gonna get into.
But what's new is he being moody about it. So I guess that's he being an
Kind of
irate
sense like
Negro.
they breaking up and shit. And I think that they did whatever they did this Monday to kind of swerve the people. I don't think that they have any concrete things that they are going to do with the New Day. What I was saying before, first of all, the only reason Ronald got up here is because he requested. But when I was trying to bring you up, I hit his by mistake. And you see how that turned out. But what I was trying to say while I was letting you up was the WWE didn't put any type of effort behind the New Day.
That was absolutely out their ass.
Yeah, at the SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is when the talks of people started noticing that, hey, it's no American Negroes wrestling. No, I'm sorry, everybody don't say American Negroes. It's no black people wrestling on the program.
I remember a few months ago, the stat was none of the black talent had won a singles match on SmackDown. Shit, it was like a year. It was some ridiculous amount of time, like a year and a half, some shit.
There's some stats up there, including that. It's something to where in America, where males haven't won on the pay-per-view. It's something to where men haven't been featured on pay-per-views. People do have their stats. It's been a while since men specifically has wrestled on these PLEs. They call them PLEs now, pay-per-views, PLEs. So if I go back and forth, that's pretty much what I mean. They haven't had men wrestle on these PLEs in a while. WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, I generally don't count that because that's when they try to fit everybody in. And plus the Royal Rumble is meaningless.
That's really the last time I remember seeing the Street Profits.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Lashley and MVP are gone, and then shit.
Bobby Lashley is the Hispanic now.
Yeah.
You do understand that, right? I know you understand like delineation and shit.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, bro.
Right. So it's gonna kind of be hard right now to kind of get Lashley out your vocabulary. But
Cedric Alexander, where the hell is he? Where
in NXT, they just started doing him. See, the point is, after SummerSlam, when people started making noise about this, specifically me, but when people started making noise about this, noticing that there's, and mind you, I've been stumping on this every fucking pay-per-view. Hey, where the guys at, y'all? Got Jade, y'all got Bianca. They may have Naomi. They may have them all three teaming up together, but there's no male representation. Nah, white folks sit up here and tell me, oh, you go all the way down to NXT. You look at Wes Lee, and you look at Trick Williams, and you look at Obafemi, who is a Nigerian. Success. So y'all want me to wait again. You know what I'm saying? When you got these American Negroes on the card, on the main roster, such as Carmelo Hayes, and apparently Carmelo faced Cody Rhodes for no reason. None of them appeared on the pay-per-view. I don't think Cody was at the pay-per-view. I only watched the women's match, and that was it. Like, that's another thing I'm gonna get into. Triple H's booking. I'm waiting on somebody else for that one. Triple H is booking because he putting the first over everybody's head right now. Like, the product altogether, just taking out the racial aspect of it, is trash. The bloodline storyline has been going on way too long. I'm not interested in Solo Sikoa. You know, they looking at Solo as a leader, but Solo lose big matches. It's Roman Reigns
It made
and Cody
absolutely no
Rhodes.
sense, I think, to make Solo the leader when they had Jacob Fatu coming in. I thought it would have really been interesting. You know, we got this new guy coming in. We're supposed to be making a new bloodline. Shit, make Jacob Fatu. He's the oldest of the two. You know, he got the look and the presence.
They should have. They used Solo because Solo was already more established, I believe, on that end. You know, for Jacob to come in and say, I'm the tribal chief and don't nobody know who the fuck this motherfucker was. They had a case for trying to make Solo the tribal chief. They just dropped the ball. Because, like I say, he lose every time. Nobody in that group is questioning him losing all the time. You know what I'm saying? Roman Reigns, when the bloodline started, Roman Reigns was beating up on them, and then they fell in line with him. And Roman never let them down. Roman didn't lose, and they didn't lose. They held the tag team titles for over a year. Solo not saying nothing about them losing the tag team titles, and they not saying nothing to Solo for losing all these damn matches. So it just nothing makes sense. And y'all talking about long-term storytelling and shit. You know, I don't want to see Roman Reigns versus Solo at WrestleMania.
Man, you can tell like it's on the fly booking. Yeah, they don't really have long term plans and story. We saw that when Jay debuted and they just threw her with Bianca. Like, where does that go? Are they? I saw she got laid out in the parking lot the other night, and a lot of people are saying that maybe that could lead to them breaking up. But you know, following the show, like the highlights, it's really not a lot of cohesive stories going on. Like besides the Rhea and Liv shit, I think that was probably the best story they had last year.
I'm sorry, you like Rhea Ripley?
No, I don't like Rhea Ripley. I just think that was the best story they had last year.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you know, somebody they could be a good actor while being trash. I don't see nothing in Rhea Ripley. I think people like her because they love the same reason that they like Becky Lynch. Her accent, their accent.
Yeah, she's pretty basic. She ain't got a lot of
basic as hell. You know what I'm saying? Liv Morgan that came around and had more character than her.
That's what made me. That's what made that storyline stick out to me. Was really Liv Morgan, her character work. Besides that, you know, what else was it? CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. There was no other stories going into these PLEs and these big shows.
So I do want to say that, you know, with that being said, it's like Triple H is just skating by. There's nothing solid, there's nothing concrete, nothing really going on in any tag team division. I think Motor City Machine Guns are the tag team champions. They won it they came there, they won it for no reason, and I don't even think that they're in a feud with anybody. But as far as like Bianca and Jade go, you know, white folk, before Jade Cargill even got to the WWE, when she was in AEW, and white folk were expecting her to go to the WWE, the first thing that people think of is Bianca versus Jade. Nothing about their character make you believe that these two should even be together. It's just skin color. Jade was the most popping melanated person in AEW, and Bianca Belair is the most popping American Negro all over wrestling right now. And they've been using her a lot. And she stands out more to me and to a lot of people than Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan and even Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton and whoever else they want to put out. You know, even Jade Cargill and Naomi. For them to be a short group of people, they stand out a lot more than, and even Last Legend and Jakara Jackson, they came in and made some noise. You know, black attracts. Black attracts. It's been more people interested lately in AEW just more of the Hurt Syndicate. Even though Bobby Lashley is Hispanic and we working on finding out what the fuck MVP is, they are attracted to AEW solely because of that and what they got going on with Swerve Strickland. I don't see nobody else talking about shit in AEW for real with genuine hype. You know what I'm saying? And they not getting no type of hate. Other people, you know, if they talking about it, is generally on some hating type shit. Black attracts, but black is a problem, and black is going to be a problem. So Triple H is booking himself into a corner. Because like I said, you got American Negroes on the main roster. Whether you're doing shit with them or not, you know, people starting to talk. Hey, what are you going to do with the Street Profits? What are you going to do with Xavier Woods? What are you going to do with Carmelo Hayes? You know what I'm saying? And then you still got these American Negroes that you have to bring up on the main roster eventually within a year or two. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Can you have Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi on the women's side be successful at the same time, along with Jada Parker, who is mixed? And it's another chick that's mixed.
Kalani Jordan.
Kalani Jordan, yep. She mixed. But, you know, bring them up on the main roster, have all of them be successful on the individual basis. Once you ultimately separate Bianca and Jade and have their feud over with and done, and they move on to other people. You know what I'm saying? And then on the men's side, the Street Profits, Xavier Woods, I'm going to go with the other melanated people, Kofi Kingston, and if Big E come back. Obafemi, who even though he is a Nigerian, I give credit where credit is due. You know, he got world championship capabilities. I believe that he's better than Gunther. You know what I'm saying? He just came out too late. But will they make him more successful than Gunther? And will they make him more successful than Breaker? Who is making the impact right now? I like Brian Breaker. Can they do that? Can they put the effort behind Obafemi like they did with Gunther and Brian Breaker? You know what I'm saying? At the same time, can you have Wesley, who been showing his ass over the last few months down in NXT? Wesley Wesley is really, really, really good. I hope they could transfer from Trick Williams to Wesley. You know, so we're gonna see how that go. Even if they don't, I want to, you know, what's gonna happen when you got to bring Trick Williams up to Raw or SmackDown, and you got to bring Wesley up to Raw or SmackDown, and what other American Negroes do they have? Javon Evans, which by the way, and Duke, I'm glad that you're here. What's up, Duke?
Hey, how you doing, man? Just relaxing and you know all that stuff. Well, about to get ready for my own little podcast and such. I've been doing it for a while. You get back into it, but yeah, I want to step in here. I'm listening to your stuff, and the thing is, I don't know what they're going to be in this situation because I mean, remember Obafemi? Remember him? He's like disappeared.
Yeah, he's not even. Okay, that's what I'm glad that you here. I've been reading, but I haven't been watching lately. So I kind of know what's going on, and then certain things just miss me. Where the hell is Obafemi, and where the hell is Javon Evans?
Well, I think they beat Obafemi twice with Tony D'Angelo, did they?
I remember that. At Halloween Havoc, I think Tony Angelo beat him, and I haven't seen or heard Obafemi since. And that was a good match, too.
Yeah, it was. But that's the issue is that, to me, they don't know what to do with him. They might put him in the main roster, but he's been real quiet. So, and not only that,
I like the fact that Tony D'Angelo, I don't have a problem with the fact that Tony D'Angelo won, but what was the point in taking the title off of Obafemi if you were going to do nothing with him?
And just like, I don't know what they're going to do with this man. I mean, it's just, I expect him to be in the Royal Rumble.
I mean, do you bring him to the main roster or do you bring him to the NXT title?
I'm saying debut him on Netflix.
Yeah. I hope, because, I mean, it's like, you know, They might just be like, well, could be just, oh, that was our flavored Negro of the month. Doesn't matter where you're from. Well, you're black, so you're just our favorite Negro for the month, and we're gonna put you in
Wait
the
a minute.
that sort of thing. We're gonna put you here and forget about you, and because again, there hasn't been a
You think they gonna put him in the
you
New
know,
Day?
shit, I don't know the new version of it probably at
They
this
need a
point
new. They
because
need another tether to replace Big E.
well, the last one didn't
Owner,
work out.
owner. I heard you say that they should debut him on Netflix. What do you do with him? Do you start him out with Braun Breaker? Do you start him out just beating jobbers? What do you do with this guy?
Personally, I would have
I'm
put him
thinking,
on SmackDown.
yeah, SmackDown. But
Do SmackDown have a powerhouse? The
No,
Bloodline.
yeah, the Bloodline.
We gonna talk. We started talking about the Bloodline.
It's amazing that people seem to, you talk about Wesley, you talked about Trick Williams and such. But my fear is that people are like, oh, we already have like black people, blackish people here. We got Jay Uso, we got Jimmy, we got the Bloodline. And I'm like,
Oh God.
no,
But you know what?
they are,
That's why
that's a
I'm strongly
cosplay.
delineating. That's why I'm strongly
Yeah.
delineating. And them not even fucking black people anyway. In any instance.
Yeah, and there's too many people who just say that, oh, it's the cosplay black and I feel that's the fear of I'm like, people are like, oh, we
They're
have to
not. You
cosplay
got a couple
blacks.
of people that's trying it. You got a couple of people that's trying it, but it's not no big noise. Nobody is calling the Usos for real black. But I can see what you're saying if they want to bring these people up, and this is kind of what I was
Yeah.
insinuating earlier. If the fact that Triple H is booking himself into a box, he's going to have to make a decision because when you do get all of these melanated people that need to come up, what do you do with the people that's already there, and are you going to gain people below them? How's the locker room?
It's gonna be this gonna be the frustrating part. It's gonna be the frustrating thing about them.
It's going to be the revealing part. It's going to reveal a lot of shit.
And if it doesn't, well, like I said, a couple months, old Vinnie Mac is gonna come back anyway. So there's gonna be a lot of people gonna be getting that axe, and I would not be surprised because remember, they had a Hit Row came out on Smack. They have all this big production of Hit Row, and then B-Fab got cut, and the next the whole thing got cut 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, people forget about that. They forget, like, oh, he's gonna be back, and then just
well, they was cutting a lot of people at that time. Was this during COVID?
It was like right after it was 2001 ish. It was 2021. It was like right after that, but they still cut people anyway. So I think I would not be surprised when Vinnie Mac comes back. Don't be surprised to see Wesley, Trick Williams. Heck, I would be surprised if Obi Fentech might be on that chopping block. Don't be surprised.
So wait. You think that Vince gonna let them go?
If it actually increases his bottom line, it proved it. He cut like an entire full roster.
Triple H compared Triple H racial booking compared to Triple H's racial booking. Vince McMahon, Triple H seemed more direct than not having any interest in American Negroes. He seemed more open about it. How about that? He not even trying to come off that as a Democrat. The motherfucker looked in our face and said he don't see color when everybody was in an uproar about the fact that we don't see color on the television in primary positions beyond Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Vince wouldn't have addressed it. I don't think that Vince would have been asked that question.
In fact, I don't think Vince would even do these damn scrums. People are like, no, cut this stuff up.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
There'll be no more scrums. Oh, that thing's
especially
gone
if he
quick.
come back. So
Yeah.
honestly, and I think me and you talked about this in length a couple of weeks ago. But let's get
Yeah.
more into detail. AEW. What happened last night? What's going on? What's about to happen with Swerve, and what are they doing with the Hurt Syndicate?
Well, the Hurt Syndicate. Let's see. I think they got screwed over. I think Kyle Fletcher won in like the Continental Classic, and he's leading in it.
So they're
It was a good
faces.
match.
They're
I think
faces.
they're just some tweeners. They're just like they're there to hurt people. That was their whole thing. And Swerve basically killed off Max Caster because he was like, talking all that stuff. The crowd seemed to be really positive about that. And
The
let's
Max
see what else.
Caster, right? Max Caster. That's I read about that, and Max Caster was a strong competitor against Swerve with Keith Lee and Anthony Bowens, and now was it a squash last night?
Yeah, it was mostly a squash because he just wants Lashley again. He wants Lashley again. So I think the sequel match is going to happen at I think World's End. And
Okay, so wait a minute. So
okay,
after that shit happened with Bobby Lashley, I really didn't go back and watch the match or nothing, like I wanted to do. But how was that match? And why
really
would
good.
Swerve want a rematch?
He lost decisively.
Okay, wasn't a screw job or nothing, and
No, he lost decisively, and that's the worst part. He was overmatched, outthought, even though he had his little moments. But at the end of the day, Lashley was better. You know what I mean?
well,
That's just like some
in
people
real
just
time,
better.
Lashley in real time he is a cruiserweight.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about Swerve, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Swerve. Yeah, I was like, no, Lashley, he might move like a cruiserweight, but he ain't no damn cruiserweight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So in real time, like, it would be believable, but I just don't see, like, it's like I don't know. I don't know why they're feuding. I still don't know why they're feuding. Okay,
Yeah.
Swerve don't want to join your group. You would think that Swerve, and let's make it make sense. Swerve was the champion, and he lost to Bryan Danielson. Not one time have he inquired about getting another title shot, and then you get into this shit.
He had to do that. Yeah, I think because he wanted to. I think he's going to probably get back to the title after defeating Lashley.
You
He's
would
going to
think that
finally
he would want to
confront.
get with the Hurt Syndicate to oppose AEW's biggest threat, right?
No, I think with Swerve though, I think he likes Nana as his manager. I think that was the reason why. And also, what happened last night is that you had Orange Cassidy, Jay White, and Hangman stood up against that whole menagerie and such. So I think they set up for a tag match. I think Jay White and Orange Cassidy are teaming up with I believe Moxley and teaming up to take it against Moxley and Pac. Or is it like really you or Pac? I don't know. I just because I think it's fine. It was good stuff. Overall, I enjoyed Dynamite. Good stuff. And I don't really care about the rating stuff because first off, Nelson is just a big old crock of crap. It's like one of the most, no one really knows what's really going on. Back in the day, there was like criticism back in the day, and there's still criticism now. And also, the internet.
Well, wait a minute now.
Most people, I watch.
Wait, because
I watched it on Fight TV, by the way.
I don't think you did earlier. I think I talked to you about this earlier. And I'm not mind you, I don't talk about ratings. I talk about money. But we did talk about AEW, and I think
they're making the money.
I'm sorry.
I think you said on the tweet and everything. Yeah, they're making a profit.
They need to make a profit for Warner first before they can think about themselves. And on top of that, you know, their product is not good. And I don't go off for ratings, but I mean, you got to know that there is not a wrestling fan out there, especially on social media, that is not at least aware that AEW is on. Nobody cares. I mean, even my coworkers, tune in and watch wrestling here and there. They might watch a SmackDown or something here and there. They may know what's going on with the bloodline or some shit like that, but they genuinely don't care about AEW.
Also, I watch it on Fight TV, which is a lot better, and everything else. Because I mean, even if they got 1 million, which I'm like, I'm gonna say this, and I said it back then, and I'll say it now. Even if it had 1 million, when we're getting that 1 million stuff, it still didn't get beaten up TNA. Actually, TNA got like average of 1.1.
Nope.
I'm just saying that ratings don't matter.
How long have you been?
Since
I get you on the ratings tip. I get you on the ratings tip. But the thing is, how long have you been watching wrestling?
Since the 80s, and I was a little kid, and I got in the
80s. Well, you've been watching it longer than me. You've been watching it longer than Greece. You've been watching it longer than a lot of motherfuckers that be talking shit on this app. And actually, I'm gonna get on old school wrestling fans in a minute because me and Owner just got into it with some people talking about AJ Styles and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a misconception to AJ Styles and his career. His career, his wrestling career, his wrestling has always been great. He's always been one of my favorites. He is one of my favorites of all times. But his promo has been ass. Until he got to until he got with Christian and TNA around 2010 or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, 07, 08. He actually had personality.
Yeah.
They finally got
he was just a kid from Georgia that just couldn't fucking talk, and that was cool. He didn't need to because he could wrestle his ass off. But the thing about this was, I was talking about Primetime Meet with Skipper, because they posted that shit up. And I said that, hey, if Primetime Meet with Skipper was like, I should have said he would have got more opportunities. On top of that,
partner Crystal Daniels did.
Well, I mean, look at the effort that they put behind Christopher Daniels. He didn't win no world title or nothing, but he was a part of that legendary shit with Joe and AJ. And his career expanded in TNA well beyond Elix Skipper, and they didn't even give Elix Skipper a true chance after that spot that put TNA on. They didn't do shit with him.
One of my big first times watching the thing. It was the first time I watched it. If you remember, way back in those days or everything, I had like a Comcast, okay, what you gonna watch? And I said, what's this little TNA wrestling? What's that? I saw AJ Styles versus Jeff Jarrett and this match. And I was like, wow. And that was just like the preview stuff. That sort of thing. But
not to mention, Jeff Jarrett really helped turn AJ Styles into a great wrestler. AJ Styles was always good with the high flying shit, but he didn't come into his own until he started grounding himself.
Oh, yeah.
And people like Jeff Jarrett was one of the ones that helped him do that. That's one of my favorite matches. AJ Styles versus when AJ Styles first won the title from Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, and the most frustrating, and I looked at the TNA stuff, I was like, this is your prime guy. He was the TNA guy, and then, management screwed everything up. It's always management. Bad management that screwed things up, right?
Well, no, I mean, like I said, Jeff Jarrett is a treat in himself.
No, I'm talking about like the TNA man. I'm talking about Dixie Carter.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was leading to. Jeff Jarrett is a treat within himself. But when it got to the point, you got the mind or you got the money. And, Jeff Jarrett didn't have the money after a while. He had to back down a little bit. And that's when, everything kind of fell for TNA. His powers got
the Eric Bischoff era. Hogan and Eric Bischoff era, which is honestly, I just
Well, I
like,
think what really
people
did
like
them in
Eric.
was what really did them in was, and I believe that they probably would have kind of did the same thing, but when Jeff Jarrett got into that shit with Kurt Angle and his wife, which is now Jeff Jarrett's wife, you
Oh,
know what I'm saying? That kind of hurt
I
Jeff
would have
Jarrett's
been like me
creative
personally.
standards.
Well, I would have been like personally. I think it was the Jeff. I think it was just the Eric Bischoff stuff, which, and then the move into Monday nights, which is by far the stupidest thing they ever did, and one of the stupidest things they ever did. And they never really fully recovered.
But that was quick though. That wasn't that just a couple of months. It did
Yeah, they
fall
got that butt
tremendously
kick.
after that, but
The replays did better on Thursdays. Yeah, they just.
yeah, I remember that. That's funny. I remember that.
Yeah, and like I said, management. And I look at what AEW's management so far, and I'm like very lukewarm to it. I'm worried because I don't think Tony Khan, as much as I think he has some good ideas, I think the way he handled the Punk situation was pretty terrible. I think the way he handles, Ring of Honor. I like Ring of Honor. I watch it, but I think it's lacking a true place. I truly think, and I'm probably getting more into this when I do our podcast.
Well, I mean, they shouldn't have
an
it.
hour and such. Yeah, but I think they should. Well, then who gets it then?
Nobody.
That's the thing. They were Sinclair.
Let it go.
That's the problem.
Let it go.
Yeah, but then it gets to WE. They're just packaging somewhere, like they did with Progress. I did with all the other stuff, which they do.
It's the fucking video footage. Let them have it. They could do more with that video footage than fucking Ring of Honor. Because I'm not about to pay $10 for that shit. I'm cool
I
with
do. I think it's fine.
$7.99. I got other incentives with Peacock other than the WWE shit. But the WWE shit is my incentive. I can't watch wrestling today. I could always go watch anything that I want to watch in any other promotion. Even past WWE and past WWF, I don't have to watch. And that's another thing why I believe the wrestling suck. Look, I could watch the best of the best thanks to Peacock, YouTube, Daily Motion, Uglo, sites or whatever. And if I had to have my tapes, good night. You know what I'm saying? My big VHS tapes.
Yeah.
But
I have some of that too, man. But it's just,
for me
I think
to
it's
go
too
off
much.
and see the shit off of Peacock, and then for me to go watch the product today, it just don't hold up.
It's a different era, different things. But I think honestly, I'm gonna say this
because I'm glad that you said that. TNA threw us AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe, Jeff Jarrett and shit. WWF, who they threw us. AEW was throwing us fucking Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy. Dude,
well, they got people like him. Hell, what about, and not only that, what about, no, not me, but just me, but remember, look at the stuff in that whole,
fan.
Look at the WWE. Oh yeah, hey, the people love them. I can't. I can't.
What you say, Darby Allin is not Sting. It never was.
Well, yeah, but yes, but he's a crazy motherfucker.
He was 6'4", 250 pounds doing what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, and then people connect to Darby. People connect to people connect to Dominic Mysterio. People connect to Finn Balor. People connect to JD McDonough. They connect to all these guys who, heck, they connect to Motion Machine Guns. They connect to, DIY. They connect to all these people. They have a connection to them. Look at the ESPN list.
That's ridiculous.
And Over 50 was not anywhere near it. So maybe we are in the past, and that the young people like to see that stuff. They love to see the stuff because remember,
I go back to my granddaddy. Back in '90, he died in 2001. He died in 2000. So before then, and I just started watching around 97, 98 for real. And we used to, before he died, we used to, go off wrestlers and shit. I'll say Billy Gunn, he say the Sheik, the original Sheik. I say The Rock, he say, Bobo Brazil, this, that, and the other. And I didn't understand who he was telling me about. I never seen these people. You know what I'm saying? And I look at they shit then. I'm able to look at it now. You know what I'm saying? Over the last couple of decades, I'm able to look at they shit. And the people who I named low key wasn't shit. I'm looking at them from entertaining aspect and not a wrestling aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
It's like when white folk call black people racist. They're racist based off of something that they said. And the key thing today is aura. Everybody always say this person got aura. So you fell in love with Roman Reigns because of his 20-minute entrances. Because if I tell you to give me 20 of Roman Reigns' top matches right now, you couldn't do it. Off the top of your
he
head.
had some good stuff at Shield. I mean, I think him and Big Show had a
People
good
feel
one.
like
Him and Lashley.
because certain people got a great gimmick, like Joe Hendry or some shit, or because people got a great entrance or some shit, that they need to be a world champ. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, it devalues the
Ooh.
title. Even to have that conversation, whether they put the title on them or give them title shots or not, it devalues the title. In what fucking era is fucking LA Knight a fucking contender for any goddamn thing?
Right now. Right now.
That's
He is
terrible.
connected. But you can say that, but at the end of the day, people go see him. At the end of the day. Doesn't
Like I
matter.
said, Brad Armstrong. I told you this before. Brad Armstrong is one of my favorite wrestlers of all times. I can go sit down and watch his 5-minute matches all fucking day long and be entertained. And I can watch it back to back to back to back. Same match. You know what I'm saying? Over and over. And he's better than the WWE champion Cody Rhodes right now. So you're telling me that Brad Armstrong couldn't even be nothing more than a fucking jobber back in them days? But he's better than the WWE. If you go back and watch his shit, you'll understand what I'm saying. You're telling me that he's better than than the current WWE champion right now.
Eras, man. He fit the role of his era. If he was, that's what the time is, man. I mean, heck, I can know about. There's a ton of
That's why I'm on your ass. A man that's been watching wrestling longer than me. That's why I'm on your ass
because I
like it.
I like to look at things. I change a bit. I like to look at some things that are different. I was always loved the cruiserweight style. I don't know if actually tag wrestling, because I feel like AEW and WWE are dropping the ball most of all. It's funny enough. When I look at
the ball on tag teams. I mean tag. Wrestling.
Yeah. I mean they did.
They fucked up.
I remember.
They put the belts together. Put it on the Usos for a year and a half. Didn't do shit with them in between because they were so much on the Roman shit. And then even when they separated it at WrestleMania, they forgot. Every once in a while, I forget that Finn Balor and the other cat are still fucking tag team champions.
Oh yeah, but here's the funny thing. I look at Shelton and I watch his stuff. Man, he's great. But it also goes right back to when I first saw he was really good in the singles matches. I'm like, it goes back to 2004 when as a tag team, him and Charlie Haas was separated. They just in that draft, it reminds me like, oh yeah, they killed off all those tag teams. That WWE just in fact, RVD and Booker T were. Yeah, in fact, let me tell you this story. Let me tell you this thing. RVD and Booker T were tag champions. They lost the belts to Evolution, like Ric Flair and Batista. And then I think Booker T was drafted, or whatever, Booker T and RVD were drafted. And they were like talking about like, oh yeah, we're going to get a rematch and everything else. And they're like, no, Coach, sorry guys. Guess what? I think Booker T was drafted to. I
Booker
think
was drafted to
RVD
SmackDown,
was.
but they
Yeah,
got
yeah,
that
and
feud.
yes.
It turned into that feud with the Undertaker.
Oh yeah, but you understand what I'm saying, though, right? It was just a mandate of
Yeah.
basically saying,
Oh no, they like I
"Well, we
said,
don't
they
need
did it
tag
with the
team."
delis. They did it with the delis. I think the Hardys got caught in that mix. You know, then they destroyed it since then, and I guess maybe they tried to rebound with La Resistance and fucking what's that
So they broke them
Japanese
up
guy
too.
name?
They broke it up too.
Oh,
And also, remember how Otis? They
they,
screwed Otis again. Remember he was they had a tag team with Henry Machinery, Tucker and Otis. Oh, they were doing some good stuff. Then he won the Money in the Bank. Then he lost it with a Tucker heel job, which by the way they already separated because of the draft, which doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you doing that anyway? Then he had like, Tucker turned heel for reasons. Then he gets fired, and then he's like he lost to. They teamed up with Chad Gable. They become tag champions, and then they tried to do this whole breakup thing, and they didn't really do anything with it. I'm like, they screwed him
and
again.
see, that's the
Like,
thing with Triple H. That's Triple H's. This is what I'm saying. That's Triple H's booking. Listen, we went through decades of Vince McMahon, trash booking periodically and shit. But eventually he can make things come together and make sense. If not, it's not something we can harp on for years. You know what I'm saying? Triple H is
we're
not
just used
doing
to it.
shit. I mean, let's look at every division. Let's look at the tag team division. Let's look at the heavyweight title division and shit. This Kevin Owens shit. What is taking so long for them to make the match? Why couldn't they have it at the Survivor Series? Didn't he get attacked at fucking SummerSlam or some shit? Like,
No, he's
what are
had
you
that
doing?
bad blood. They had to do that whole crown jewel title stuff. That's the problem. Just like,
But I
well,
mean, look,
Saudi Arabia
Survivor Series
called
just fast. Survivor Series just fast. Why the hell was the WWE champion wrestling at the Survivor Series?
because Roman was wrestling.
And Stone Cold wrestled on the same card as Triple H, The Rock, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Mankind. You can name them all down the fucking list.
Well, and Hunter
And
doesn't.
nothing prioritized the other. Stone Cold prioritized everything, but you still wanted to see everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It don't make sense.
Well, they had
Triple
to do
H don't
something for
make
Saturday Night
sense.
Main Event.
And Triple H
They had
don't
to do
make
something for
sense.
Saturday Night.
It's amazing how Shawn Michaels is down in NXT making so much ruckus as far as his storylines go. And it's so good. And matter of fact, it's not only so good, they unique. And even if they rehash certain type shit, it still looks fresh to our eyes.
Yeah,
Why
it's
is
a
it that
weird
shit
thing.
can't happen into the WWE?
Well, because I think because of different, sponsorships, other deals, they have to be more
It's all the
PG.
same.
All that.
WWE and NXT is the same. That's the same.
Yeah,
NXT
but that it
represents the
must be different.
WWE and they represent TKO. It's not different. You know what I'm saying? They had Jada Parker out there saying nigga the other day and calling people bitches and doing all this other shit. And y'all are on the CW network on top of that. Why did they let her say nigga? And that's another thing. That's why I say delineation. She half white. I don't, so I don't necessarily condone that. I don't condone nobody saying nigga on television, black or white, especially in
Yeah.
professional wrestling. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying? And
that
it's
that
like,
should be an instant. No, it's because again, it's like it's just I hate the fact that people say, the white people call us. No, have some pride and dignity to yourself, man. You know, that's what it is, and it's frustrating that you look at the stuff at NXT. It's a continuing problem of them since the NXT Black and Gold era. It is even when they had only an hour of television on the WWE Network, they had better stories. They had better
yeah.
connection. They had
That was
depth.
at Triple H. But wait, that was at Triple H hands though, right?
There was other people there too. He had other people around them too. making the stuff
Okay,
there,
let's
and it's
take
just for me, it's frustrating
so
though.
let's take creative out for a second, all right? Do you believe that it's a possibility of the lack of talent?
Well, I think the reason why there's an overflowing of talent. I think there's too much people
Oh
there,
yeah,
and
I've been
if
believed
he,
that decades ago.
I think the problem is if they do start cutting talent like they did in 2020, which I low key agree with because there was stuff was overflowing. I'm like, if they
That's
don't have
AEW
talent,
problem. That's AEW
true.
true problem.
That's AEW problem. That's WWE problem. They don't want to cut because they're like they go right back to company. Like, see, you're a terrible book. I'm like, no.
I think the
Sometimes people
AEW
just
should have
don't.
kept it simple by having Dynamite, and that's it.
But if
Dynamite and Dark or whatever. Maybe even Rampage. When they put that collision shit on, that's a lot. You gotta know that's a lot of fucking wrestling. All right, that's a
well,
lot. That's a
it is. It
lot of
could,
wrestling. You still got other TV shows. Not to mention, people have lives. They have families and shit. None of my family watch wrestling. My son may watch it here and there. My daughter may watch it there and there. They're not hardcore wrestling fans. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to
you
watch
can say
it.
that with you can say that on a lot of things. It's content. We're in the content era, man. I hate it as much as you do. We are in a content filling era because if they said if AEW was that, they'd probably be like, might be a better storyline wise, but the WB be like, well, we need to have more content. You're gonna be on Max. We need content, and it's cheap. Wrestling and reality television are the most cheapest things out there. So there's a reason why WWE is looking.
You're dealing with somebody that don't know what the fuck he doing, which is Tony Khan.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, I hate to say that, but I think he has he's taken too much. Not just that, but the Jaguars, Fulham, all that. I think it's too much for him. I wish he was just a money man and just get somebody there.
I don't think he really got his hands in the Jaguar organization like I think that we do.
I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But personally, before I go, I gotta go. But yeah, I just think
real quick
that both companies.
What's your content, and do you want to plug yourself?
Well, I'll do CT Lounge podcast, and it'll be not on here, but on YouTube and such. That's what and gonna try to get back to video making as well soon. But I'm gonna say this: I honestly believe this. I know people don't like this because they don't like saying they should have it all season or whatever. But I truly think if WE, TNA, or and AEW just had like a trading thing, like just like say rotate talent in and out or something, like just like hey, here you go, just here's your talent. Here you want Ricky Starks, you want this, but if you're not doing something with this guy, we'll take this guy here. Just trade some people off, just because it'll be a lot easier and not like less headaches for everyone else there, right? And also stop the damn pay-per-view scrums too.
Oh wait a minute.
That's what I do. Both companies.
Do you watch TNA?
Occasion, I do.
Do you believe that TNA is better than AEW right now?
No, because I don't think they are. I don't think they are because you might say shit about Joe Henry, but the people love him. And the problem is, they had the right opportunity. Personally, I don't know why they put Ziggler.
They fell off with him. They dropped him completely. TNA did.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do. TNA, having Joe Henry, this guy was so big, and then next thing you know, he had to face Dolph.
Well, do you think they catering to Dolph Ziggler?
I think they are a little.
This is Dolph Ziggler's time. He should have been world champion. This and other. So, you think it's just a bad timing?
I think honestly, if I was doing it, I would have had Josh Alexander, who turned heel during that 5-way match, have him win the championship, and then have Joe Henry win against him. There you go. Simple,
Um,
right?
Duke, you out of pocket for you out of pocket for
What?
saying that TNA right now is better than. I'm sorry for saying that AEW right now is better than TNA. And I get what
Well,
you said
I
about
just
TNA and Joe Hendry and Josh Alexander and stuff like that, but nothing compares to what the
I
fucking.
honestly don't think. I do think TNA does do better things. I think they do a better job in their women's division. They do a better job. I think their mid card is more decent. It's more streamlined. It's not, to me, corrosive and such. I think AEW has a lot of issues to fix. Personally, I
So,
want
do you
this when
believe
this
that the
thing.
reason I want to tie this together, the reason why I want to tie this together is notice earlier I said that, one, it's already a lot of programming on TV for WWE. Same
Too
thing with
much, but then
AEW.
again,
And AEW did better when it was just Dynamite and Dark and shit, right? Do you believe that TNA is better because it's one brand and it's one day a week, and the same thing with NXT?
well, you can say that. There's NXT level up, and
They
I
give
think
you something.
NXT
They give you. I've never sat down and watched NXT Level Up, and I don't understand. Is Malik
used to
Blade?
be
Are they still
NXT.
using him?
I don't know, maybe, but it's. I think um, the worry is when I look at NXT is that it's just like since it's so cheap. I worry when they do get it on Netflix, and it will happen. They're gonna start getting that NXT UK stuff again. They're gonna get all that NXT Mexico, NXT Canada, all that
You think
stuff.
that
That
NXT is going to Netflix?
I mean, after the CW deal, I mean, with Netflix, if the Netflix thing does right, I mean, they probably gonna have a
Well, do
permanent
you
home in
think that
Netflix.
Netflix is going to restore wrestling fans like, hey, WWE Raw is on Netflix. I haven't watched wrestling in 20 years. Let me watch it. Do you think that they're going to restore older wrestling fans?
Not really. I think he's trying to get the new ones because again, cable is dead.
Yes.
Cable, you try to put something in cable, it was a. Honestly, I looked at when AEW first premiered. I was like, I feel like if it was came out a couple years earlier, they would have more million more viewers. That's just cable was still something. But when it's 2019, I was like, cable is gone. And it's just like they got like the last gasp of it. Oh, they finally got a little gasp of it, and then during the pandemic, and then the cable just went down to
Well,
2021, two, and then it's three, and it's
WWE
dead.
still pulling over. WWE is still pulling over a million. Anywhere from a million
A
to 2 million.
million, yeah, but it
That's
used to be
not a
like
lot.
five or
That's not a
six, man.
lot, and that's
4 or 5.
technically not a lot. But the fact that, like I said earlier,
They're going to Netflix,
everyone
man.
is
They're going to
aware.
Netflix.
Every wrestler fan, past or present, know that AEW exists. AEW don't have the ability to keep anybody interest.
I'm
One, and
watching. I
I
think
always
it's
ask people this question. I don't know if I asked you this question, not and Greece, you could answer this too. One, I believe that AEW need to create their own wrestling fans. With that being said, how do you believe they could do that?
stop with the takeover angles. No more of that. We've seen it. We've done it. Then they need to go take a page of what 2007 and 6 is like TNA with their women's division. Simple stories, better stories that actually have people and better. Honestly, I'm going to say this right now, and I think you will agree with me. The diversity of the Knockouts division back then has not been copied from
Nope.
WE,
Nope.
and AEW or anything else.
Nope.
It is
That's
the
because
same Mean Girl.
it was natural. That was a natural thing. WWE shine the spotlight on it. When they do things for women, they tell you that they're doing things for women.
It's the
You know
greatest
what I'm
thing
saying?
ever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, And I wish they need to
Knockouts
go right
division, I
back
will
to
give you
it.
that. Awesome Kong, Gail Kim, the beautiful people. And you can say you can call
ODB.
me as racist as OBD. Oh my God, you can call me as racist as you want to, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not racist. The beautiful people had the greatest entrance in wrestling history.
Yeah,
I like the
and
little
the WWE copied them with Lako.
no, but they
They
couldn't.
copied it with Lako.
Angelina Love. I touched Angelina Love ass twice. Um,
Ooh.
I did, and she got a nice ass. And no, the white women had nice asses, and they had a great entrance as a result. Not to mention those bitches could wrestle.
Yeah. There was so much interest there. And I think if
By the way,
someone
Angelina
breaks that
Love,
code
for the
again,
record, Angelina Love is ugly. Take a look at her face real deep. She's an ugly bitch.
yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, she ugly, but she
But
had body.
yeah. Yep. And this is the thing. I think that's the key of
ODB
AEW
had
needs
body
to.
too. I'll fuck her drunk ass.
But I think they need to do that more. Have that for the girls and the men to actually just do simple stories and no little type of stuff. No, oh, I love the WAW. Da, 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 da. Just simple stories. That sort of thing.
Let's touch on that real quick because TNA, in that time frame that you was talking about, they didn't just have the best women's division. They had the best tag team division. They had the best heavyweight division. They had the best mid card division.
TNA at one point had the best
So,
roster. Period. I think
They
in
did.
2007
oh
they
yeah,
had the best roster.
yeah,
They
one of the
did.
best rosters, and I was watching that more than I just didn't even care for WWE at that point. I barely
And
cared.
the thing is, they here's the best part that they don't get credit for, and this is the thing that the AEW doesn't do. They took the best of the past, the best of the present, and the best of the future, and made a great show. We got the week. They didn't try to
And,
copy the WWE. They didn't try to copy WCW. They didn't try to copy ECW. They was their own shit. They may have mentioned the WWE here and there, whatever. It didn't affect their programming and what the fuck they had going on. They had good backstage interviewers. They had great commentators. They had great referees. They had great tag team division. I mean, they tag team division. We talking about America's Most Wanted. I'm talking about before Bobby Roode and James Storm. The America's Most. We talking about Chris Harris before he got fat as fuck. We talking about the Naturals, primetime Elix Skipper and Christopher Daniels, the Jorge Estrada. What the fuck ever happened to the Flying Elvises and shit? Sonny Siaki. That's fucking Ricky Starks. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah,
Abyss.
it's just
Man, I remember how great Abyss was to be a new talent, and he made. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And then, well, guess who showed up and ruined everything? Vince Russo. And then the combination of Hulk
Vince
Hogan
was
and
there
Eric
from the
Bischoff.
beginning.
Yeah, but his dad, I think Jerry Jarrett, has told his son Jeff, saying, "Look, all I want you to do, just make sure you don't get the same people who ruined WCW." And guess what happened? In 2009, the late end of '09, guess who Dixie
I
Carter
think that
signed
Jeff
to?
Jarrett and Vince Russo had a personal relationship. And maybe
Yeah,
that's
but
why
I'm
he
talking
kept them
about
on. But
Eric
they had
Bischoff.
y'all got to know. I know Scott Demore personally, and
Mm,
Scott Demore is a great mind um, in the business. Border City Championship Wrestling or whatever. Y'all really got to go back and look at that stuff. He's a great booker. I'm surprised that TNA let him go. But the one thing that I know is Scott Demore has always had ties within the WWE. He low key may have been on a payroll. You know what I'm saying? As far as getting talent, local talent to them. Um,
mm,
um, I
Yeah,
think
Scott
that may
D'Amore
be the
had some good
reason.
moments. Yeah, Scott D'Amore
Scott
had
D'Amore
his
actually
stuff, but the
wrestled The
problem
Rock
is,
too back in 1998.
yeah, he knew what's up. But then, like I said, guess who showed up? Eric Bischoff and Hogan, and well, the bad, really, really bad stuff happened. Just like the stuff that they pretty much made the knockouts division terrible. They made the main event was horrible.
They
Everything
took
was
away
just
six
bad.
sides.
Well, wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Do you think, going back to talent, do you think that transferred into what the talent became? I mean, they always kept AJ Styles on top. They always kept Kurt Angle on top. They always kept Samoa Joe on top and shit like that. But they couldn't, them
but the
guys.
problem is stories, man. The stories were terrible, and I think that was the issue. And the Immortal storyline,
You're
all
right.
of
The
it was
story was
just
terrible.
bad.
The
Yeah,
wrestling was still good though. The stories were terrible, and that was a turnoff. I couldn't watch TNA for a while.
yeah. But that's what we that's what I think is what the AEW needs to do. Purge all that stuff and become simple, easy, and completely get back to those type of like stories and interest, and hopefully don't go for big. You're not WE. Be the alternative. Be the cool alternative person here. That's what you have to be. The smart alternative. Be the Nintendo Wii to the WE's 360 and Sony. First party games and just keep it moving. That's what the AEW should do. Just like don't talk about it. Just keep doing what they're doing and keep it moving.
Mike, what's up?
Yeah, just got out the shower.
Okay, man. I hope that this ain't about to turn out the way that we think it's about to
Whoa,
turn
whoa,
out,
whoa,
man.
whoa. Nah.
Okay. All right, man.
I got clothes on. Relax.
All right. Listen.
I don't do that type of shit.
Last time you was on that store tip and shit, man. You got a habit of telling the truth. All right. um, what's going on? You came up at the right time. Because we was trying to break into AEW. We kind of got caught into the TNA aspect, and we could probably lean back into TNA. I just kind of want to start from the beginning with you. Um,
Yep.
you watched Dynamite last night, right?
Yeah, I seen it last night.
Oh my god, man! I can't.
I thought it was all
Can't get
right.
y'all to stop watching this shit for nothing, boy. Oh, terrible. What the fuck is their name? I went back and listened to what we was talking about the last time. On the Bobby Lashley shit. I know.
Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I know a lot of stuff happened. My bad, I'm eating these damn things. This shit's so fucking good. Um, I know that a lot of stuff, a lot of interference happened between Ronald and stuff, and you were getting into something when it came down to the Young Bucks. Private Party are the tag team champions. First of all, did the Private Party appear last night?
Private Party? I didn't see Private Party.
So, can you tell me anything about Private Party tag team title reign since they won it from the Young Bucks?
They have yet to follow up.
Yeah, we have to follow up. And so,
And that's where AEW often fails a lot of times. They don't know how to follow up. Very few times they actually followed up when they give a wrestler a big title win.
well, we was talking about Swerve right earlier. Me and Duke was talking about Swerve earlier. It's a lot of shit that's not making sense. I know that the Hurt Syndicate just got in, but Swerve was the AEW champion.
Yep.
Not to mention he represented AEW. I think throughout
Yep.
that shit with the Young Bucks and shit, right? So it
Yep.
doesn't make sense for the Hurt Syndicate to come in and feud with Swerve when one Swerve lost the title and never inquired about getting another title shot. And I can understand because he moved on to Hangman Adam Page, which was his primary feud, but that
Yeah.
ended after one match. And now you move on to Bobby Lashley when you got people, when one, you got a title that you should want back. And not only that, but the person that's actually holding the title is running ramshed on, I don't even know if that's the word, but you know what I'm
Rough
saying?
shot.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
entire AEW in which you represent. Wouldn't it
Yeah.
have made sense for you to kind of wanted to team up with the Hurts to get to try to combat Velma?
Yeah, it would have made more sense. On top of that, I'd have had Swerve be the one to beat Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Dream, where they're in Tacoma, Swerve's hometown. And he beats Bryan clean and he gets that big pop.
Okay, so what do you do with him as champion um today?
Oh. You give him some big feuds, have him open and close the show.
Which is something that they did not do throughout his title reign at all, right?
Yeah, because the first when it's his first defense, what was it, Christian Cage
Yeah.
at Double or Nothing? He was like second to last, and they had the whole Anarchy in the Arena match.
I don't even think he won a title in the main event, did he? Because didn't he win a title the night the Sting thing was?
No, that was Revolution. Wrestle Dynasty was where he won the title and beat Samoa Joe, and that did close out the show.
Now, mind you, and like I said, we're gonna go in between the wrestling and the racism. Okay.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard to make a case, even though I'm on it, of AEW being a racist organization because, like you said, the follow up,
yep,
they screw up on everybody.
yep,
Singles divisions, tag team divisions, women's divisions,
yep,
bouncers, fucking, they screw up on everything. All right. However, when you look at the lack of American Negroes that's actually on the program, then you could attribute it to racism. Right?
yep.
Um, but you know, they did this thing with Swerve. All right. Uh, they got Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate or whatever. They fell into their hands. All right. You kind of don't know what to do with them. So Swerve is Shelton Benjamin is going to be your fall guy. He's the one that's going to eat these pins and shit while Lashley looks strong. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be
Yep.
workhorse. He's going to put in the great matches, and Lashley is going to dominate and get all the success. Tether,
Yeah.
like American. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because Swerve had to eat a pin for Orange Cassidy.
Oh yeah.
So
Before he won the title, right? Didn't he do it twice?
yeah. Hell, I always thought he could have been the one to end Orange Cassidy's title reign instead of John Moxley.
Duke is, and that's why I wanted to get y'all talking. Duke always come in early and you always come in late when we do this, so y'all miss each other. But
Yeah.
Duke is a hardcore AEW fan. Why? The explanations that he gave me still don't make sense because it seemed like he shit on AEW more than give it the proper praise. I don't think there's no real, true, legitimate, proper praise that you could give AEW. Right?
Probably not. I enjoy the wrestling.
Yeah, but
That's about
okay. That's it. And that's what a lot of people say that they enjoy the wrestling, especially the pay-per-view and
it.
stuff like that. Do this prove that wrestling was never meant to sell or draw?
I don't know if it would prove. I don't know about that.
Man, how many 10 to 15-minute matches can you watch in a night every single week?
every single week, I could go 2 to 3 hours.
Shit.
Used to go more, although Rampage, because I used to watch Rampage and Collision, but they kind of became redundant and inconsequential.
Me and Duke kind of sat on this a little while back. When I watch shit and I'm by myself, if I'm by myself and I'm watching something, even if it's a movie lately, and I've just been noticing this over the last couple of years, if it's a movie, especially if it's a movie I've seen before, I could branch off watching something and then my mind would drift and I'll go watch something else. You know what I'm saying? I can't sit down and watch a full program of nothing by myself anymore. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
and even like I said, what I was talking about earlier, I always go back and watch, Peacock or anything old school, anything before 2010. Some stuff in between, maybe that's just me. Being a Republican, at least on the wrestling end, not wanting to see change because change fucking sucks. So you wasn't up here earlier. We was talking about Triple H's booking.
Yeah, Triple H. Oh,
I want to merge that together with you right now. How do you feel about professional wrestling overall and how it's being presented 2000 over the last 2 years? You could break them up. You could go with AEW first or WWE first. Specifically Triple H and Tony Khan. No Vince McMahon shit.
yeah. Triple H, I seen is okay. When he first took over, it's like I heard a lot. I was like, oh man, NXT was bangers. Like, So okay, I would see clips because I never really sat down and watched the shows. I'll
What time
watch
frame you talking about?
like Raw, SmackDown.
No, I'm saying what time frame you talking about?
Yeah,
Like what year?
like 22.
Okay.
So like within the last 2 years, it's like, okay, Triple H taking over. All right, you see like read articles that hey, a lot of talent was happy that Triple H was taking over, and it was okay. Let's see what he can do. And there are times where he's hit, it's like, and times he's missed, but throughout the whole thing, it's okay. Let's see how many black wrestlers can get a chance under Triple H. And
do you think that Grease? I want you to chime in on this too. I just thought about this just now. Since you just said this just now. And all these conversations that I be having when it come down to wrestling and racism and shit, I never thought about this until now. Do y'all think that we got hung up off of 2021 when we did see mass majority of melanated people holding championships at one time?
I think you might be onto something. It may be. That could be the case because wasn't 21 where you had, I think Bianca. That was around that time Bianca Belair was champ.
Bianca came up.
Because I think title. That was when her and
tag team titles. Can't nobody tell me shit about their title reign. But they just say that they got the title. I think Apollo Crews, who was a Nigerian, was the Intercontinental title champion. Big E was the Intercontinental champion, who turned into the WWE champion. He's the Jamaican and Muscatarian.
Yeah.
Bianca was, getting her gears going at that time.
Yep, she had beaten Sasha Banks at that WrestleMania that they main evented.
Yeah. I watched that match with my niece the other day. And like I said, my niece don't watch wrestling at all. But she was glued when she seen Bianca Belair. I tried to put, somebody on after her that match. And I tried to put somebody on after her, and she just tuned out. You know? But I've been on Wrestling with Racism since about 2020 when I've been able to sit at home and talk to people, and, pick people brains about certain shit and get off into talking to all these other different wrestlers and shit and seeing, just with all the stuff that was happening in real time and nobody was doing shit at that time, people true feelings got exposed. But this wasn't a major online conversation. I was always stirring up shit, but this wasn't a major online conversation until all of this stuff died down after Big E won the title. You know what I'm saying? To where I noticed other black people, melanated people. I don't, I gotta so I can dig deep just to find out what people is. But all that shit, didn't start until after that Big E losing the title and it died down and shit. That people were starting to advocate more for wanting to see more black wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So that's more of a
And
newer thing.
um, white people got this technology. They want to rewrite history when at the time when that was going on, this was the pandemic, right? Remember?
Yeah. It was
So,
the end of the pandemic.
George Floyd is dead. We had these riots. All this stuff is going on. This unrest. This racial tension. So they throw the titles on Big E, Kofi, and Lashley.
They
And
did that the
at
next year.
that time,
So
at the
it's like
time,
they
we
sat
were
down and
saying
thought about it.
right then we said that was pandering. Then we said it was pandering. But now they're saying, the same shit. You had a black champion. What are you complaining about? Because we haven't been made whole, like you've been saying.
But see, that's where I've been fucking them up at. This is where me personally been fucking them up at when we hit the delineation factor. Along with me fucking them up with on the delineation tip, it's still been heartbreaking at the fact that we look at the fact that there are maybe besides Swerve Strickland and Bianca Belair, no American Negroes that are successful, genuinely, and long lasting. And Trick Williams, I still say. We said the same thing about Carmelo Hayes, and you put him on the WWE roster, and they didn't do shit. Like, okay, so y'all had this series of matches between him and Andrade, which was good. But it led to a triple threat match for the U.S. title, and they both lost, and now they're doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, white folk expect us to be satisfied and content with whatever the fuck we get, whenever we get it. We got to live off of Bobby Lashley holding the title for 3-4 months for a lifetime. We got to live off of Kofi Kingston, a Ghanaian, holding the title for a lifetime. We got to live for a few months. We got to live off of Swerve Strickland holding the AEW title for a few months in a lackluster championship reign for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Swerve is the only American Negro.
Facts.
I pointed it out on the last program that I did. Since 1963, we have 4 melanated WWE champions: The Rock, Kofi Kingston, Big E, Bobby Lashley. None of them is American Negroes.
Nope.
So y'all want us to be satisfied and content with these people's successes, and I could be,
like, even when these
if we had it for ourselves.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, even when these white people talk about per capita, they want to bring out the per capita. How is it that per capita, there were no Negro WWE champions at all in the entire history.
Nah, one.
Can't think of a single FBA champ.
Not one. Booker T didn't have a chance in hell. You know, Mark Henry didn't have a chance in hell.
And Booker T was one of the most popular wrestlers on the planet.
Yep.
Love Booker T career overall. It's one of the greatest because in WCW,
yep,
he went through the tag team rings, and then he went through the mid card rings, and then he went through the main event rings. 10 years, 7 years, some shit like that. And then he came all the way down and did it again in the WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Exactly the same way. Tag team, mid card, you know. His title reign was short, and he was getting, and a lot of people don't remember, you know, while his entire King Booker title reign, he was getting his ass whooped by Batista the entire time.
I fucking hated the King Booker shit.
But I'm talking about before.
I love the King Booker shit.
Supermarket Steve Austin Booker T.
Steve Austin low-key killed WWF at that time because he was so strong. I mean, you got to know, you know, dominating in the Royal Rumble the way that he did that year, 2001. And then beating The Rock at WrestleMania. And then the two-man power trip was just laying waste to everybody. And then when he got with Vince McMahon, he was laying waste to everybody. And then the invasion came, and he laid waste to not only everybody in the WWF, he laid waste to everybody on his own team. WCW, ECW was just in over his head and just beating everybody. And Stone Cold just, you know, he was untouched. He was unbeatable at the time.
90s, like Austin in like 97 to 99 was probably the best because they didn't overdo it with him.
No, they were building him.
Yep.
And then, you know, he got hurt and then he came back. He didn't lose no momentum, but at the same time, the business changed and he had no competition. The only competition that you had was The Undertaker, Kane, Triple H, the same people, and nobody wanted to see that shit 3 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, shelf life. And this is why I say, like, and the shelf life is only going to get shorter in the WWE now. Because, like I said, one of the things that killed us is killing AEW and it's killing WWE, although the WWE can't do anything about it. And it's not killing them financially because they are great business people. But the fact that we have so much wrestling on TV, you know, I said earlier, if it was just Dynamite, I think the Dynamite would have much higher ratings if you didn't have. You got to give the people something to wait for. You know, when I was really hardcore into the shit, 99, 2000, 2001, I couldn't wait for the next, you know, Raw, SmackDown. I couldn't wait. And then the funny part was, you know, my parents wouldn't let me order every single pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have the money, then motherfucker, I wasn't about to just sit up there and order every goddamn pay-per-view. But I wanted to so goddamn bad. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, I can find out what happened a month from now. You know what I'm saying? Not give a fuck.
Yeah.
They don't give you something to wait for. And like I said, we didn't have the luxury of Peacock or WWE Network and none of that shit, YouTube even, to go back and watch some of the shit. If you didn't have the shit on tape or traded tapes with other people and shit, you missed it.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't find out what happened. If nobody in school ordered the pay-per-view, we didn't find out what happened until Raw.
This is the conclusion of part 1 of this week's edition of Wrestling with Racism, as it was a throwback. And we will present part 2 on Monday at the latest. If you have not tuned in to the latest editions of Wrestling with Racism, they are available on YouTube right now. In the meantime, American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our dearly beloved ancestor Frankie Beverly stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. We here at Wrestling with Racism hope that each and every single American Negro enjoyed this edition of Wrestling with Racism. As we can assure you that Wrestling with Racism is not the easiest thing in the world to do. We here at Wrestling with Racism aim to exploit white truths. However, white truths isn't the easiest thing to live through. As we continue to wrestle with racism, we are in the second half of our second season, and Wrestling with Racism is hiring for key positions. We are actively seeking an editor. If you are an editor and you are an American Negro, please feel free to DM me your resume. You must be in tune with professional wrestling and social issues regarding race, specifically with American Negroes. You may DM me at non-crackers@al with the L on the end on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. Wrestling with Racism is also actively seeking an associate producer. Please DM me your resume if you are interested in the position. You may also DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also where you can find more white truths. To American Negroes, we encourage you all to voice your opinion on the state of professional wrestling and American Negroes' participation in professional wrestling on camera and behind the scenes, also in executive roles. If you would like to join HBK 400, Deportation 2025, the owner of a stolen gun, and our trusted, valued correspondents, Foundational Bearded American, and Duke CT from the Duke CT Lounge, feel free to DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. It is important for our voices to become collective as we are truly facing erasure. American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one, and that's the way it is. We here at Wrestling with Racism would like to thank each and every single American Negro for tuning in to this program. If you are not subscribed to Wrestling with Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not. Be sure to also tune in to Wrestling with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, and at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, where you can find more white truths. This is also very important as we continue to wrestle with racism. American Negroes and American Negroes only, feel free to leave your comments below. Wrestling with Racism will return next week with a new edition of Wrestling with Racism. In the meantime,
as our dearly beloved ancestor Frankie Beverly stated plainly,